The reason this has not worked up until today is not because you need to try harder or fix anything or grow more confidence or be more consistent. It's literally because everything you've been taught focuses on what you're posting without addressing what it actually takes to feel safe being seen while you post. Hey there, and welcome to the Life and Business on Purpose podcast, where purpose meets profit and mindset meets strategy. I'm your host, Sandy Patterson, a former kindergarten teacher turned online business coach, mom of two really cool boys, and the creator of the Momentum Method. Through this 3-phase method over the past 2.5 years, I have helped dozens of women build values-aligned, profitable businesses without working 40+ hours a week so they get to enjoy their business and live their lives on purpose. Around here, we do business differently because we believe success isn't about hustling to prove ourselves. We don't believe in rigid formulas or chasing someone else's version of success. It's about channeling perfection into power, moving with unstoppable trust in life and business, and leading with strategy that actually fits your life. Let's build your life and business on purpose together, one episode at a time. Here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Like always, I am so freaking excited that you are here, and I am especially excited to dive into this topic today because this has been a hot topic across all of my containers lately, and the topic is how to feel safe being visible online. Because it is not about teaching you how to create a reel or teaching you how to make a better hook or grabbing the trending audio or whatever it is. There is a whole other layer of feeling safe being visible online that is added to the mix. And it's typically what stops most people from truly, authentically, unapologetically showing up online. So if you've ever thought, I know what to say, I'm just scared to actually say it, or if you don't even know what you want to say because you have been so conditioned to walk on eggshells or to be the quote unquote good girl, this episode is 100% for you. Because the issue is not that you don't know how to post, and it's not that you're inconsistent. You are very consistent. The real reason visibility feels hard is because it doesn't feel safe to be fully seen yet. And most of what you've been taught about visibility, which is just be more confident, post more, share more of your personal transformation story. Those things actually make that sneaky fear behind the unsafety of visibility worse. So today we're going to talk about why visibility feels unsafe in the first place, what's missing from the advice that you've been given, and how to start building internal safety so that you can show up clearly and unapologetically and authentically and attract people who are ready to buy without forcing the confidence or just pushing past the fear. Okay, so if you are new here, welcome. And if you've been around for a hot second, welcome back. I'm Sandy Patterson, and I help women build online businesses that allow them to live their lives on purpose without living in constant burnout and overdrive. Because I know how consuming emotionally building an online coaching business can be. I work with recovering type A perfectionists, control freaks. Hello, that is me too, who are done spiraling, they're done redeciding, and they're done outsourcing their confidence to strategies, trends, or other people's opinions. And we really focus on building self-trust that replaces that constant second-guessing strategy that actually fits the woman who is running the business and her life, her season, her family, and leadership that feels grounded instead of forced. So we're building businesses over here that support real lives, your real life. Not something that you need to recover from or that you are looking so forward to the weekend and your business has now become your 9-to-5 job. Okay. So in the last episode, we talked about how to know whether your current offer actually makes sense for the season you are in right now and how to stop offer hopping every time something does not sell right away. We walk through the offer audit and the leadership decisions required to choose what you're standing behind so you can stop redeciding, stop offer hopping, and simplify your focus and give your offers the time and consistency they need to actually work and build traction. And that conversation is really important for what we're talking about today, because once you decide what offer you're leading, the next layer becomes being visible enough to lead it and to sell it. Because you can have the right offer, the right strategy, and the right focus, but if it still doesn't feel safe to be fully seen talking about it or selling it and standing behind it, the momentum will still feel really difficult to create. So if you haven't listened to that previous episode yet, make sure you go back and take a listen to that. Now, before we dive in, if you are realizing that visibility doesn't feel safe yet and it's holding you back in your content, if you're already like, yeah, I know that's me, please feel free. You can book a totally free, no pressure growth gap audit call where you and I will sit down together and look at your current life and business structure, see what you have going on and how you're spending your time. We'll identify where your gaps are and we'll map out how to close the gaps so you can see better results with less effort by focusing on what actually matters and what's actually going to move the needle forward. The link for that growth gap audit call is in the show notes for you. And if you're ready to go all in on your business this year to create a life where you can take your kids to school or go to the gym in the middle of the day or wear your athletic wear and be a boss babe in your office from home, you can apply for my mastermind or private coaching. The link for those are in the show notes for you as well. Now, I know what you want. And it is very simple. You want your content that you spend so much energy and so much love and time on to attract the right people, the ones who are ready to buy. So when you show up online as yourself fully and apologetically, not with a mask or not being who you think that you need to be, not when you're performing, not when you're softening the message, and not when you're carefully editing yourself to be more palatable. You want to be able to show up without fear, and you want your content to do the filtering so the people who reach out already feel aligned and ready to say yes, they're already sold. You are tired of spending hours creating content only to get comments like, oh my gosh, I love this, or this is so good. And then nothing really comes of it. No real conversations, no buyers, no momentum. And that gap between effort and results is exhausting. But here's another layer that you might not always say out loud, or you might not even notice is there yet. Deep down, you know that you are holding back. If you are being 100% honest with yourself, you're holding back. Maybe you're holding back your opinions. Maybe you're holding back how direct you actually want to be. Maybe it's parts of yourself you feel completely comfortable sharing in real life or being in real life, but not when you show up on the internet. And you know that the way you show up at happy hour with your friends is not the same way that you show up online. Not that you're lying or being a totally different person, but you know there's a layer there that is missing. And showing up online feels filtered and polished, and it feels slightly muted, okay? And you can feel, again, if you're being honest, you can feel that disconnect. You know it's there, but you cannot quite put your finger on why it's happening or how to change it without everything feeling really risky and without totally dysregulating your nervous system. And that is where the frustration really lives, because you know you're capable of more leadership, more clarity, more impact, more clients, but visibility still feels complicated. And when I say visibility, I mean how you show up online. So here's what you're probably doing right now. You're telling yourself that you just need to power through. That if you can just push past the fear and past the hesitation and past the, the feelings that come up when you go to post or when you go to share what you really want to say, that eventually it'll click, right? You just have to flex the muscle. So you think that maybe this is just one of those things that you have to muscle your way through until it feels easier. So you post anyway, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it feels I don't know if is this how I would actually show up in real life? And then you brace yourself. You hold on for what the reaction is, whether that's people getting upset, whether that is nobody reaching out, whether that feels like you're shouting into the void, right? You also think that this might be a confidence issue. Like once I feel more confident, I'll finally be able to show up the way that I actually want to and the way that I envision myself showing up if it were already working. Okay, there's a gap there. If you look at how you would be showing up, if you look at what you would be thinking about, what you wouldn't be thinking about, what you wouldn't be giving a shit about if you had everything that you wanted right now, there's a gap there between how you're showing up now and how you would be showing up. So what you do is you sit around and you wait for that confidence to arrive, or you try to manufacture it, right? The whole show up as her thing. So you tell yourself you just need to get over it, stop being scared, stop caring what other people think. And when that doesn't work, it actually feels like a personal failure. Now, here's why none of this has worked so far. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, but it's because you're trying to solve the wrong problem. Powering through does not work because fear around visibility is not a willpower issue. Let me say that again. Your fear around visibility is not a willpower issue. When you push yourself to post while your nervous system feels unsafe, your body stays on high alert. Like literally, your body and your nervous system is on high alert. And that's why posting feels draining instead of exciting or fun or energizing. You're forcing output without creating safety. And that tension does not magically disappear just because you hit publish or just because you've posted, 100 times online. Waiting to feel more confident does not work either because confidence is not a prerequisite for visibility. Okay, it's usually the result of trusting yourself over time. Confidence is. So when you're looking for confidence first, you're putting the decision outside of yourself and looking for outside validation. And that's going to keep you stuck in waiting mode instead of leadership mode when it comes to showing up online. So the reason this has not worked up until today is not because you need to try harder or fix anything or grow more confidence or be more consistent. It's literally because everything you've been taught focuses on what you're posting without addressing what it actually takes to feel safe being seen while you post. And until that safety piece is there and in place and solid, visibility is always going to feel like something you have to manage and one of those have-tos instead of something that you can trust and something that's fun and fits into your business and into your days. So if all of that isn't working, what actually needs your attention here? Well, the thing that no one talks about is the safety of visibility. Most people are trying to make visibility feel safe by controlling external reactions. So without realizing it, you're asking yourself things like, will people like this? Who's going to judge me? Is this going to land the way that I hope that it lands or the way that I want it to land? And the problem with that is very simple. Safety is being outsourced to things you cannot control. And when safety lives outside of you, the anxiety that comes with it is inevitable. And visibility feels unsafe, not because of the internet, not because of the trolls, not because of Aunt Karen who might, see your post and think, what the heck is she doing? But because there's nothing internally anchoring you. So it feels unsafe when your message is really vague, so you don't actually know what you're standing behind. It feels unsafe when your identity is tied to being liked or approved of, and it feels unsafe when you are waiting for feedback. Feedback like comments, DMs, people reaching out to decide whether what you said was okay or not. And it feels unsafe when you have not fully trusted yourself as a leader yet. When all of this is happening together, it's, of course, your nervous system is going to read posting as a big, scary risk. And it's going to continue to happen until we address this at the core. So the part that changes everything is safety doesn't come from hiding. We know that. It comes from self-trust paired with clarity. Okay? Visibility becomes safe when you know exactly who you're talking to, When you know what you believe and when you know why you're saying it, and when you can stand behind all of those things. Safety is not, no one's going to disagree with me. Everyone is going to love me. Everyone's going to like me. And I know for our people pleasers out there, that's going to be a little bit startling. But safety is, I can stand behind this even if someone does not agree. That is a completely different internal experience. This is where we have to reframe visibility as a safe act, not to get comfortable, but to get grounded in what you're saying and what you believe. So let's talk about this and why being vague may feel safer in the moment, but it actually creates more anxiety. And I am guilty of this, very guilty of being very vague and not wanting to exclude anyone, not wanting to leave anyone out, and really just feeling like I can help anybody. So let me just make sure that everybody that comes across this piece of content or this message will agree with it. What happens there is you are left wondering after you post, even if you don't realize it or not, you are left wondering how people are going to interpret your words and that message. And you are bracing yourself for people to misunderstand. On the other side of that, being clear may feel more risky in the moment, but it creates more stability because it's a straight shot through to your people. When your content is clear, you're no longer wondering how to respond to every comment or what are people going to say or what are they going to do. You're not defending or over-explaining yourself anymore, and you're not carrying the emotional weight of how it landed with every single person on the planet, right? Clarity reduces that emotional labor. And when the emotional labor goes down, consistency and confidence stop feeling so damn hard. Okay, so the thing to focus on isn't being braver or louder or more confident or more vulnerable. It's building that internal safety so that being seen no longer feels like something you have to manage, but something you can absolutely trust. Now let's get into my 3-step framework to build safety in visibility. I'm not going to leave you high and dry here. I'm going to give you exactly what needs to be done in order to begin to create this safety, because I want you to be able to show up authentically, unapologetically, and I want that to bring your dream clients to you. Now, this is the part that most people skip, but it's the part that actually changes everything. And I am proof of this. My clients are proof of this. Safety and visibility does not come from the platform. It does not come from the response you get, and it doesn't come from the algorithm, what the algorithm is or isn't doing today. It comes from how you relate to yourself and how you feel before, during, and after you show up. So let's walk through this in 3 simple steps. The first step is to create internal safety before you post. Safety starts with your decision, okay, within you, what you decide, not the internet, not what your audience wants, not what your followers want, not what is even trending right now. Most people look for safety after they post. So they watch how many people are liking it, how many people have engaged with it, what the replies are. When it's quiet, we basically panic, right? And when safety is dependent on that feedback, your nervous system never gets to relax. So it stays on edge waiting to see if what you said was quote unquote okay or right. Now, instead, safety here is created before you ever hit publish. So this means deciding ahead of time why you're saying this, who it's for, and what you are willing to stand behind. These 3 questions are literally a game changer. So before you post, you pause and you finish this sentence. You fill in the blank, okay? Even if this gets no response or the wrong response, I trust my decision to say this or to bring this forward because blank. You fill in the blank there. If you cannot fill in the blank yet, it's okay. It's just not an anchored belief yet. And anchoring it first is what's going to help create that safety. So start there. Now, the second step is to make clarity your safety net. Vagueness often feels very polite, but it's actually what creates anxiety, like I mentioned before. When your message is warm and fuzzy and for everyone and very vanilla, your nervous system knows that. And you start anticipating misinterpretation, and you mentally begin to prepare to explain yourself, and you stay hyper aware of how people may react. And all of that is the emotional labor that we talked about. And you've also heard the saying too, when we're talking to everybody, we're actually talking to no one. And that's why clarity reduces this anxiety and this emotional labor. So before you post, before you start creating, you're going to ask yourself, who is this for? And you want to be as specific as you possibly can. So much so that you're like, there's probably only one person on the planet like this, and that one person is probably most likely me. Get as specific as you possibly can. And I know specificity is a whole other topic, a whole other thing, but just get as specific as you can. Get in there. Who is this for? Who is the one person that this is for? What do I actually believe here? Okay, what's the belief? That goes to the first 3 questions that we asked. And what am I not trying to include? What am I not including here? That's a really powerful question. And then just say it like you would as if you were at happy hour talking to your friend. Just say it in your voice, your language, explaining whatever it is to them in that way. That is going to create the safety that you are looking for, because clarity reduces risk. When your messaging is clear, you're not bracing for confusion. Yes, it may feel a little risky to post something that is polarizing, but we go back up to those first 3 questions and we can answer that initial question. I can stand behind this because blank. You're solid in it. You are anchored and you are grounded in that opinion or that topic or whatever it is that you're talking about. So you don't have to defend or over explain anything, because you've already decided in step 1 what you stand for and what you're willing to stand behind. Now, step 3 is to detach from reaction and re-anchor to self-trust. You all know that I am so about the self-trust. It is like the ingredient that is going to catapult everything, your business, your content, your messaging, your sales, everything forward. So this is the step that makes that safety sustainable over time. So after posting, most people scan for feedback to decide how they feel about what they shared. Was this post good? Did my audience enjoy it? Did I get, engagement on it? Was that okay? Did I go too far? Should I delete it and reel it back in? But safety does not come from these reactions, you guys. It comes from commitment to your own decision. So after you post, the mantra is, I trust myself to say this, even if not everyone agrees. I don't freaking care. I trust myself to say this, even if not everyone agrees. And then you move on. So there's no monitoring, there's no rewriting the caption, there's no editing, there's no emotional bargaining with the internet or with your audience. It is what it is. I posted and now I am moving on. This is where visibility stops feeling fragile and starts feeling a lot more steady. And it's going to take up a lot less brain space inside of your brain, a lot of real estate, right? Less real estate in your brain. So when safety comes from inside, you do not need to manage visibility. You just get to trust it. And when visibility, showing up online authentically, unapologetically, talking about what it is that you want to talk about, what you believe, your opinions in the work that you do, consistency becomes a lot easier. Clarity becomes a lot easier, and the right people, your people who resonate with what you're saying, start finding you without forcing, and conversations are naturally started here. Okay? This is exactly where my 3-phase method comes into play, because everything we talked about today lives inside the first layer of my signature method. Before we ever get into advanced sales strategies or scaling offers or building recurring revenue, we have to stabilize how you show up as a leader. And phase one is about moving out of perfectionism, diverting that perfectionism, that second guessing and that self-editing, and turning it into self-trust and clarity and grounded visibility. So it's no longer about being perfect or saying the right thing. It's about you feeling safe, being seen. Because when that happens, your content gets sharper, your messaging gets way cleaner, and your buyers start self-selecting without you forcing or having to explain or convince why they should come into your work with you. And then from there, we build the systems and strategy that support that leadership, but none of it works sustainably if visibility still feels unsafe at the foundation. Now, here are the 3 key pieces to my signature momentum method. And the first one is turning your perfectionism and people pleasing into power that is going to speed you up. It is not about fixing your perfectionism or your high standards. You don't need to fix anything. You're always going to want things done right because you are the girl that if you're going to do something, you're going to do it well. And you're not only going to do it well, you're going to do it great. It is about diverting that perfectionism and those high standards into the things that actually matter, which allow you to speed up and move a lot more quickly in your business. So think no more hours and hours and hours, brainstorming and creating and second guessing your content. No more obsessing over the perfect caption or overthinking what to say in a sales call, wondering if you're doing things the quote unquote right way or obsessing over what people think of you. And instead, we divert that focus to things like creating a cohesive, recognizable brand, creating amazing messaging that speaks directly to your ideal client, and delivering an incredible client experience so that you create a community of your people who stick with you long term. This step alone has allowed my clients to move faster, sell sooner, build stronger brands, and create client communities that actually last long term because their perfectionism is finally working for them instead of against them. Now, the second phase inside of my signature momentum method is creating unstoppable self-trust. You've heard me talk about self-trust a million times. Growing and scaling an online coaching business is not about finding the magic strategy that's going to instantly skyrocket your business and unlock everything. It is about having a massive amount of cultivated self-trust so that you can keep moving, you can keep selling, you can keep leading, showing up powerfully, even before you have any evidence or validation or results outside of you that catch up to you. Inside my unstoppable trust system, we pinpoint the misalignment between how you're showing up now and how you would be showing up if you already had everything you wanted. And then we upgrade incrementally how you show up and how you move so your business can catch up to that identity and the income that you know you're ready for. Now, the third and final piece of the momentum method is running a successful online coaching business is not about doing everything or doing what everybody else is doing or even doing what your coach does or tells you to do. It is about finding content, sales, and marketing strategies that work for you and work for your life, okay? So that you can implement these strategies over and over again without dreading it or feeling like you have to go to the dentist, like, ugh. So that showing up to run your business and sell your offer and market your services and deliver to your clients feels really fun and it feels effortless and it feels easy because it's aligned to you and your voice and your values, what's important to you, your vision, your family, and really allows you to work around the reason you created this business in the first place, which is the people that are important to you. The momentum method has been transformative and the key to unlocking my clients' businesses and lives. And I cannot tell you, I have so many women come to me and say, Sandy, I am doing so much work and nothing seems to be working, to signing dream clients consistently without overworking or overthinking every single move. Now, if you're listening to this and you're realizing, oh shit, like my content isn't filtering for buyers because I'm still editing myself and I still just don't feel safe being visible online yet, you have two options. The first one, you can book that absolutely free, no pressure growth gap audit call. On this call, we will take a look at your current life and business structure, identify where your gaps are, and I'll show you how to close those gaps so you can get better results with less effort by working smarter and focusing your time on what actually moves the needle forward, what's actually going to create revenue, clients, and impact in your business. The link for that growth gap audit call is in the show notes. Or if you're ready to go all in on your business with support that goes deeper than just surface level strategy, so you're not just posting more, but you are actually leading your business and leading yourself and your clients with clarity and conviction, please apply for my mastermind space or for private coaching. The link for those is in the show notes too. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any new episodes. And if this episode hit home, please consider leaving a review, hitting those stars. It takes just a second, and send it to your biz bestie who's also ready to grow her business in a way that supports her life, not consumes it. I will see you next time for the next episode. Bye, you guys. Mwah. If you are sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, this episode was made for me, you have two options. You can book your absolutely free, no pressure growth gap audit call. On this call, we'll take a look at your current life and business structure, identify where your gaps are, and show you how to close those gaps so you can get better results with less effort by working smarter and focusing your time on what actually moves the needle forward. The link is in the show notes for you. Or if you're ready to go from one-off wins to repeatable revenue with structure, strategy, and sales that support your life and keep dream clients coming back and your calendar full without burning out, you can apply to work together by clicking the link in the show notes. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any new episodes. And if this episode hits home, please consider leaving a review, hitting those stars, and sending it to your biz bestie who's also ready to build a life and business on purpose. I'll see you next time.